Hello everybody, good evening. We all have been seeing the headlines and the breaking news about the hijab. I am also a bit disturbed. I know you are also equally feeling irritated about what's happening around us. I remember of the song called Parda hai, Parda hai, Parda hai, Parda, Parda hai, Parda, Parda ke piche. This film is called Amar Akbar Anthony, in which in our younger days we were all introduced to the Parda through the movies. All our movies had one or the other Parda through Akbars and the Mughals and all that stuff. All of a sudden, we received this news from Udupi, the place of Krishna, Lord Krishna, and the place of Kanakadasa. What has this Parda to do with Krishna and Kanakadasa's city of Udupi? 6 girls, one of the daughters of SDPI's counselor, she instigates her friends to go into the classroom with the hijab. And the school authorities stop them and say that this cannot be done. And hence, all the mayhem turns out. In 3 days, it has spread out across the country. As far as Calcutta, Charminar, Chennai, and every other place. What is happening? All these days, these girls used to go to the school, go to the changing room, remove their hijab, go to the classroom like any other student. Period. All of a sudden, this radicalization has begun. And seeing this, the Hindu boys and the Hindu girls reacted and they started wearing a scarf, a saffron scarf in protest. That's the reaction. The proactive action was the hijab-led front. And all of a sudden, we have the Democratic Party of India, the Socialist Democratic Party of India, SDPI, the Students' Islam Organization, the volunteers from them, the Jamaat-e-Islam-e-Hind volunteers, all of them spring into action. And there are reports that some of the culprits have been caught with weapons who were planning to murder the girls and put all the blame on the majority, which are the Hindus. Now, schools should be the place of learning. The business houses should be the place of business and doing things. But all of a sudden, we all have, because of the elections in UP, everybody sprung into action. And Priyanka Vadra says, the girls have a choice to go in a bikini or a hijab or a dupatta. It is their choice. And then she blames the BJP and the Prime Minister for all the mishappenings. Our great Shashi Tharoor says this is not Sweden or Norway or France where they have abolished the hijab. Yeah, this is India. India, we can live with everything and still be happy. Only the minorities have the right to pick and choose what they want to and put the blame on all those blames on the majority. Like what Shashi is doing. He blames the government and the Prime Minister. Then we have Kavita, the MLC from TRS government, who has the decency to say, leave education at its place, practice your personal religions at your home or your private spaces. Then our KTR with all his wisdom says, the blame is on the Prime Minister for all the wrongdoings of the hijab. What is the Prime Minister to do with this? It started in Udupi, SDPI's corporator's daughter. Now, tomorrow we will have the judgment, the Monday we will have the judgment from the High Court in Karnataka, where they would say how the school should be run, how the business houses should be run, and all that stuff. Now imagine, if they allow the hijab into the school, what will happen tomorrow? The policewomen say we have the right and the personal choice of our religion, and hence we will come in burqa. The military people say the same. And in all the offices, say the government or private, if they start coming in your burqas, what will happen to the decorum of the learning places, the business places, the security levels of the city and the state? And imagine, this is up to our imagination, what can happen tomorrow. The boys and girls will come back to the school and say that we want to have a place for namaz, as it is a part of our religion. We want to do 5 times a namaz, and hence you should change the timings of the classes for us to do to practice our namaz 5 times a day, in which 3 times falls during the school time. A separate place for it. And slowly they may say, in the canteen you should have a halal counter, because we only want to eat the halal food and all that stuff. Then they would say that as per Quran we don't believe in Panchabhutas, we don't believe in Rama, Krishna and Buddha, and hence we don't want to read the books. Please subscribe us different syllabus. The geography is not in Quran because we all are dictated by Allah and the caliphate. Hence, we don't want to read geography. What happens? So these are the practical problems that I foresee in the days to come. I don't say the common Muslim is wrong at it, but he is wrong because he is keeping quiet and allowing the radical Muslims to rule him. I don't say the radicals are only in the Islam community, they are in every community. Let us leave the place of learning for the students. Let us leave the place of police for them to see that the city is safe and sound. Let us leave the military to protect our country from the enemy outside and not from the enemy within. If you see the flashpoint which triggered the hijab, which spread all across, the same happened in CAA case, where a small towns like Nagpurs or Bidars or Gulbargas, everybody, everywhere there was flashpoints. And then finally it culminates in the northeast Delhi riots. The same happened in 1990s, 1 year before they started using the Parda system, and 1990 January 19th or 20, all the Hindus were eradicated from or thrown out of Kashmir. History has something to teach us. Learn from it. Be aware. Don't jump into these conclusions. But be aware, be prepared that anything can happen to us. Anybody can attack you. Prepare your children and tell them to protect themselves from all these radical elements. I request all of us, including me, that the priority for us is our great Bharat, the country ahead of all of us. Then leave everything for their particular purposes to happen. The private religion in your house and my house, and not in the common places or the public places. Rambabu, Cheruvu, Hyderabad.